Hey, what's up guys, it's Matt with the Movement System. We're here to optimize physical therapy and performance in Las Vegas to show you guys a technique for speed training. We're gonna show you something called Fast Eccentrics. This is a way that we can train our muscles to quickly absorb forces, and these exercises will have really good carryover to fast sport movements. So let's go ahead and take a look at some exercises that will help you get faster in your sport. So these fast eccentric movements are especially important for athletes who have fast movements in their sport. So to show you guys this, we have our endurance athlete, Carmen, but he's gonna give you a great demo, don't worry. All right, so for this first exercise, we're gonna look at a split squat drop. So you may be familiar with slow controlled eccentric split squats and other exercises like that in the gym that bodybuilders often use to build up muscle hypertrophy. But what we're working on is rate of force development, or the ability to absorb forces quickly. So the way that we're gonna do this split squat is to hold the weight at the chest, find a split position, and then we're gonna drop and hold. So what we wanna see if we come around from the side here is that we're in a high knee position here, and then we're catching and quickly holding in that knee position about at, like, say, a 90-degree bend. Not a full lunge, but about catching halfway up. Because this is an athletic position. This joint angle will help you translate to producing high forces when you're doing change of direction in your sport or something like that. This knee angle is also something you'll see in running, for example. So that's a good knee angle to really build strength and stability with. If we want to specifically build stability in this position, which could be really helpful, for example, for an Olympic lifter who has to catch a push or a split jerk, that can be really helpful to add a 1 to 2 second isometric pause at the bottom before you stand back up. Another great exercise for doing fast eccentric movements to train speed is a kettlebell swing. This kettlebell swing is going to rapidly load the glutes or the posterior chain muscles with hip extension. So what we're doing here is we're rapidly absorbing force to catch the kettlebell and then pushing the hips into that kettlebell to give that swing. So we can even add a band to this exercise if we want to progress it to make that even more of a rapid eccentric. But the key here is going to be to absorb catch forces really quickly with that kettlebell and then to thrust it forward. Again, this is a faster eccentric than you'll see in most slow movements in the gym, so it's really good to incorporate these into your training if you want to see increased speed. Some other moves that you can include into your training for fast eccentrics are things like a power clean, specifically the catch position as you're dipping down and absorbing the force of the bar coming down. That's a really good way to load up with a fast eccentric movement. There are some other really interesting ways to train fast eccentrics, one of them being with a flywheel. Although this is not that popular, there is a ton of research to support its effectiveness. For example, using it for something like split squats, lateral lunges with a push-off, or other rotational based exercises can be really effective because it can be hard to load these directions with just free weights. The way you do this is pushing off really hard for the concentric, and then the eccentric, the lowering portion of the repetition, is loaded more quickly. This is especially true if you use the technique where you do a fast concentric, you let the weight come down a little bit, and then you rapidly slam on the brakes or do that fast eccentric on the way down. Studies like this one have used half squats and other exercises like that and shown significant improvements in jump performance using a flywheel. That said, if you don't have a flywheel, I think another good option is something like a deceleration lunge. There are a couple different ways you can do this. One would be setting up with cables or a band to pull you forward, and you have to rapidly slow down on the front leg. I've even seen teams of athletes pair up and then have one athlete push another athlete, and then they have to control that deceleration. The whole goal is just landing on that one leg and controlling with a fast eccentric. And then the last exercise I do want to mention is something like a drop freeze, where you step off of a box and you use that landing and freeze at the bottom of that landing as a fast eccentric movement. This is a really great way to incorporate fast eccentrics for athletes who are learning good technique for their jumping movements. So overall, it's important to mention that it's not all or nothing here. These fast eccentrics can be incorporated alongside some slower eccentric movements. If you're doing really traditional bodybuilding training and you're not getting faster, then maybe you need to shift your training towards more fast eccentrics, but it's not like you have to do only fast eccentrics. Hopefully this has been really helpful for you guys. If it was, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks.